The Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams have a chance to run it back, and the offseason has already been very good for them as they picked up Allen Robinson. They still, I think, have hopes to bring back OBJ, and they've got decent draft capital. I wouldn't say that about any other team, but they're one of the best scouting teams in the league.
I mean, not picking until the back end of the third round would be very difficult for most teams, but the Rams are very good at this. Losing Von Miller is going to be a bitch. I think people are underselling how important that is, and that definitely played into my selections for the Los Angeles Rams.
In the post-free agency 7-round mock draft for the Los Angeles Rams, Flostradamus projects at the 104th overall pick, the first of the draft in the third round for the Los Angeles Rams, JAMAREE SALYER, offensive lineman from Georgia.
This is their best-case scenario because JAMAREE SALYER can play damn near any position on the offensive line. I would have him slotted in as their right guard, their starting right guard week one. Look, the most of the negative tape on him came from playing tackle at his size because speed rushers would really screw with him. I do not see him playing tackle in the NFL, but he could. I mean, it would be a worst-case scenario. Somebody got hurt or something like that. The versatility is certainly there. He's a very good pass blocker. Didn't always see the consistent effort in the run game, but I think some of that would be mitigated by a move to guard. To me, this is the best, and I've been asked this by more than one Rams fan. Is there any chance he falls to us? Yeah, and that's exactly how it played out here.
All right, how about a compensatory pick in the fourth round at 142 overall, Mario Goodrich, cornerback from Clemson.
The good on him is very, very, very good. He's a physical outside corner. I think this would be the Darius Williams replacement. He's bigger than Darius Williams. There's also the problem of he's not blindingly fast. He ran a 4.52. I actually thought he was slower than that. What that tells me is that he plays slower. Though if he slots into that same role that Darius Williams had, he'll be fine. Play off, play the ball. He can do all of those things. And at this point in the draft, he would be a great value. He's very good at playing the ball. Like I said, he's a little stiff-hipped. It's all athleticism things with him. If he was 0.2 of a second faster, if he was shiftier, he would be a drastically higher pick. I don't think he's that much less talented than Andrew Booth. He just has some physical limitations that Andrew Booth doesn't have.
In the fifth round, the Los Angeles Rams have the 175th overall pick, Isaiah Thomas, edge rusher from Oklahoma.
This would be the first shot at replacing Von Miller because he would be a situational pass rusher. The question is, can he add muscle to the frame because he does have some strength issues right now. Can he add muscle to the frame and still play in the outside of a 3-4? I would say he probably projects better as a 4-3 defensive end, but the athleticism is definitely there. And if there is a team that could get the most out of him playing at this size, I would say it's the Rams. Running the 4.7 made me a little nervous. I would like to have seen that in the high 4.5s range because that's how he plays. So I think people might be exaggerating a hair the physical limitations, but if he's coming in to do exactly what I think he would do here, which is see quarterback, get quarterback on the opposite side of Robert Quinn, I think he can do that, and I think he can do it quite efficiently.
You mean Leonard Floyd?
Leonard Floyd,
yeah.
wrong former
Chicago Bear,
Southeast college football player, played for the Bears.
Right. All right, let's see. Another edge rusher in the sixth round. So another shot at replacing Von Miller here at 212 overall. TYREKE Smith, edge rusher from Ohio State.
We'll call this the backup plan because if you told me one of them was going to become an elite pass rusher, I'd say it's Isaiah Thomas. If you told me one could definitively play in a 3-4 and the ceiling is lower but the floor is drastically higher, it would be TYREKE Smith. there's not he's not as good of a pass rusher. He's still fine. He also does not hold up against the run as well. So he would be if things didn't go well or just another piece of the rotation. This is when you're drafting this far behind, you're going to miss on some of these guys. So you have to mentally take that into account. Tyreke Smith is safer than Isaiah Thomas, just has a lower floor and fits into a 3-4 better.
Another compensatory pick. There's 3 compensatory picks in the 6th round for the Los Angeles Rams here in the 2022 post-free agency 7-round mock draft from the Sportsocracy in the Ingles studio at 213. Rachaad White, running back from Arizona State.
He's a freak of nature. 6'2", 210, mid-4'4", 40. The thing that scares me about him is he's very boomer bust because what I see in him is Arizona State's another one of those schools where I don't necessarily think they get the most out of the players they have. Was not widely recruited out of high school, wound up at a D2 school, and then transferred, played 1 year at Arizona State, and now we're here. Much better receiving back. I see him. I think he has an ability to be a 3-down back in the NFL. With the Rams, he would not be asked to be that. I think he would be the spell to Sony Michel. Kind of fits into, he's a bigger version of Darrell Henderson. And I think he's a better version of Darrell Henderson. Here's the thing. Virtually every running back I've ever seen go into this offense since Sean McVay's been there has been, at the very least, effective. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily great, but effective. Rachaad White might be the most talented running back that would have been on this team in that time, not named Cam Akers. This could give you the 1-2 punch for the long haul. Some people will be shocked he falls this far. The running backs are going to fall. There are too many of them that are too similar. But now Rachaad White's one of the few that has really good ability to catch the ball out of the backfield.
In the 6th round, the final compensatory pick here for the Los Angeles Rams, 219, MARQUAN McCall, nose tackle from Kentucky.
Hey, there's a whole motherfucking lot of him. 6'3", 345. He's just hyper athletic. At this point, he is at his size, he is more raw ball of clay. Can you turn him into something? This is what Kentucky does. All right, so in the Mark Stoops era, this is the 3rd time they have had a gigantic nose tackle wind up in the draft. The question is, do they become anything? The first 2 did not. They also went to situations that I do not think were very advantageous for them. This is a good situation for him. He can hold up against the run right now. I can't tell you he's ever going to be a great pass rusher, but he's very explosive in the first few steps. He's kind of like a sparkler. It shines really bright, but it burns out so fast, and that's kind of what I see in him. Very limited amount of tape from Kentucky. I think there's a lot of untapped potential. This is a boom or bust kind of, and I mean, it's hard to say bust at this point of the draft. This could be a home run. It could also be a guy that's on the roster for a year or two, and you go, hey, remember when we drafted that big, gigantic fucker from Kentucky?
Right.
That was fun.
Right. In the 7th round, the first of 2 7th-round picks for Los Angeles, the Rams, 239th. RBARIZONA. We got a punter in here.
The punt god.
From San Diego State.
This is one of the better punters I've ever graded. And now, take that with a grain of salt because I loved Presley Harvin last year, and he was fucking awful. Matt ARAIZA's not going to have that problem. Left-footed, which, he did some actual kicking at San Diego State, and he was good at it. To me, projects as a punter in the NFL. This is Johnny Hekker replacement. And I can't remember the exact stat. 18 punts of 60-plus yards.
Holy smokes.
That's a lot. And had 2 that went over 80. One of the best punters I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. All right, Matt ARAIZA, 7th round, 239th overall. The final.
If you take a punter in not the 7th round, you did it wrong.
Like taking a kicker in fantasy football?
If you take a kicker in not the 7th round, you did it
wrong. In the 7th round, 254 overall, the final pick here of the draft for the Rams, Trey Turner, wide receiver from Virginia Tech.
There's a lot of good raw. He's just so thin. 6'2", 180, ran a 4.5, has some hands issues. this is another player that you should expect very little from outside of special teams work for the first year or two in the league. But if you can ever teach him to catch the ball away from his body, he lets damn near everything get into his pads. If that wasn't a problem, I would say he would be a beginning of day 3 prospect. But between that and the weight, I think he's going to fall to the back end of the draft. But there is some high upside. You know, he's very fast and has no fear going over the middle. Of the biggest hits I saw across the middle in all of the tape from this class, he took two of the top 5, I would say. Hardest hits I saw anybody take. Very good balance. He's a good player. And he has the ability to be a very good player. He also has the ability to be, let's see, I'm trying to think of one of these others. Nelson Aguilar. Hey, it's cool that you can get open, but you can't fucking catch. I do like the kid. He's just raw and going to need some work.
Now we've seen the Los Angeles Rams win a Super Bowl with the fuck those draft picks mentality. Let's see if Les Snead and company can keep it going in 2022. The 7-round post-free agency mock draft for the Los Angeles Rams.
If you like these picks, if you don't like these picks, if you think I'm a big mulleted ginger man bun dipshit and you could do better, feel free to comment those out. I will happily grade yours, and if there's a player you would like to know how they fit with the Los Angeles Rams, throw those in the comments as well. I go through those every day, and I love interacting with draft nerds like myself.
Hit that subscribe button. Get all of our team-by-team content throughout the Draftmas season. We are the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. We're always in the Ingalls studio. Low prices. Love the savings. And we will see you next time.